Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for weekend updates. If you were here last weekend, we'll talk about real life at the end. For now, I'll just show you my attempt at retail therapy, I think, and I'll give you some updates on that. But let's talk about the crafty stuff first. If you weren't here last weekend, there were some pretty big changes in our household, so you might want to go back and watch that. I don't believe in retail therapy, but I had a lot of free time and, hey, what's the worst that can happen? And some of this, I think, was before. I don't know. Noni picked these up for me. Remember when I went to do Smash That Small Pad and I didn't have any red, white, and blue that was true red, white, and blue, not vintage? Clearly, we've remedied that. And then also picked up the ephemera. I was looking at another collection yesterday when I was shopping with Noni, but we got interrupted a bunch of times and I forgot to check to see if it was the same one. If it wasn't, I probably would have picked it up. She also got me the domed ink blender brushes because I wanted to try them, and maybe I was the last person that hadn't tried them. I haven't actually tested them out. Andrea tested them and said she likes them much better than these, where you get the circles sometimes. Andrea and I we're good-sized women, and we're a little heavy-handed. We're not like dainty. Noni is a fabulous ink blender. I don't know that Andrea and I are going to be there, and that's okay. I'm not looking to make beautiful backgrounds. I just like to ink the edges of things. Okay, so this stuff. Then the beach trip got canceled. Our friend Katie tested positive this week, so last weekend, I spent a bunch of time packing up, planning my projects. I had my counters beautifully cleaned off. I had my 6-foot table out and everything that was supposed to go to the beach on it, which was too much, by the way. Hadn't pared it down yet and perfectly packed it, but was well on my way. So I kind of felt like I got tricked into cleaning my room. But you know me, don't worry, I messed it up in a heartbeat. So what I did was, let me show you. I know, crazy mess. I left the table set up, and then Noni came over and crafted yesterday, so I set that one up too. The table has all of the projects that I was going to take to the beach. So I've put away the tools, the scissors, the cutting mats, all the stuff I had laid out for that. But I left the projects because I thought, well, I had yesterday, Friday, and Monday off. If I have 4 days for crafting, I should work on these, right? And so had I made a packing video for you, which we never got that far, I would have showed you, this is my scrap bin that I put together. So all of my little containers with scraps, I already took one out. There's another one down in there. My jar from the counter with cutting scraps that I use to stamp on or die cut if they're big enough. Some vinyl, my book to put die cuts in, some scrap pads some pads that were sitting out in a Joya blue bin or something. I thought, I'll take those. A UFO of scrap stuff. Just days of collaging, layering, die cutting, everything. Had my big glue stick. I was ready. Then other stuff, specialty paper scraps, journal supplies from Beth. That goes with the vintage thing. I'll show you. It's a UFO now. I don't know what these were, but they were all project ideas to take to the beach. Not this. It just got added on later. I just left it out, and I just started working. I was not going to take my July daily for a couple of reasons. A, it was this tub and the journal. It was too much. And B, maybe journaling isn't how I wanted to spend my weekend based on everything that's been going on. So I was going to leave that here and work on my collabs and my scraps. And it would have really helped clean up my room. Now, you can see I undid the beauty, but that's okay. This spread out stuff under here is the stamps I was sorting. And this is a vintage journal UFO situation. One night this week, I don't know, I got inspired and I said, okay, I'm going to make something. And I opened up that bin and started a journal. I might have started two because there were some cute papers, and so I didn't want to duplicate. You know how I am about that. So I put some in the other one. So I think I have two. And then I was thinking about a cover. I got a little crafty and creative, and I am trying to figure this out. It might crack and not work, but I'm going to try it. I don't even know what it is. Placemat, maybe? I'm not sure. I felt like it would be really cool for a garden-y vintage journal. my Smash That Small paper pad. Hi, Princess. You want to say hi? Yeah, she says, hi, everybody. I'm taking care of my mommy. I'm holding down the fort here. So I spread it out here and I was working on Smash That Small paper pad. And I'll show you that later. It was an opened up pad and ephemera that a date with my craft room here on YouTube, she doesn't make videos anymore, sent me years ago. And I just thought it's time. So when I was packing for the beach, I went through this whole cupboard carefully and sorted, okay, this is actual cardstock now. And these are paper collections and different things. And I pulled out that UFO from in here. This was one other one, and it's Flora #1. And I had the 12 by 12 when I very first started my YouTube channel. And then I got the 6 by 6. I just wasn't motivated to take that to the beach with me. Maybe in fall or spring. It just, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I put all the school stuff together. These I would not call UFOs. They're baby is the category, and Easter and coffee. So they're, oh, this one is a UFO. I don't care what you say. This is I chopped up, made journals, and then left this for cards and never went back. And I have a bunch of stuff to go with it. So I could easily, but I really went through that cupboard, cleaned it up, and that one. I had 6 by 6s mixed in there, like that Flora #1. So when I was looking for Smash That Small paper pad, I wasn't finding them. Because I had the day off yesterday and we felt like it, Noni said, hey, we should go shopping. So we went to Beaverton, which I've talked about before. It's an hour away from my house. In Beaverton, you will find Whimsy's. It has an extended name. I'll look it up and I'll link below or put it on the screen. Whimsy's, and then right next door, same parking lot, don't even have to move the car, Paper Parachute. It's parking, it's kind of a gravelly parking lot, but it's a good parking lot. There's no street parking, pay to park kind of thing. Whimsy's is jam-packed. It's not highly accessible. So like for our friends with scooters or that kind of thing, Whimsy's might not work. Paper Parachute you can get into, and Paper Parachute does some classes and stuff too, I think. Mary, I think you would love Paper Parachute. It's more mixed media-ish. So more like Runaway, but we have Runaway, so maybe you don't need to go that far. Okay, so let me show you what I picked up. I was looking for a sympathy die, and I really like this brand. Made in China, I know, but it's a UK company, Creative Expressions, and I see the pattern, the ones made by Sue Wilson, these double layer ones that she makes. I have Happy Birthday, Thinking of You. I picked this one up not so much because I needed it, but because I thought, what the heck, finish all the ones I have, right? Then I'll have them all. I really wanted a with sympathy or sympathy something. I don't like just sympathy. I don't know. I have a big one and it takes up too much room on the card. Somewhere I have some UFOs floating around. This is another thing I was bound and determined to finish this weekend, so we'll see. This one, it's kind of a, you see it? It's kind of a curly Q font for me, and it's a little big. So if I want to use like a nice background stamp or something, I mean, it takes up a lot of the card. So I was looking for something a little smaller that would allow me to mix things up, and I could put it across here, just give me some more flexibility so all my sympathy cards don't look the same. I bought this one. This is Frantic Stamper Ink, which is here in Oregon. I'm 99% sure. And the die is made in the US. Now, I did a cut with it last night and I didn't like it. What I thought was going to happen based on this picture, and I'm pretty sure it will, I just need to get it figured out, is you would run it through and it would cut the back border and the middle. And then you could mix and match the colors and layer them up. What happened was it didn't cut all the way, so the with sympathy didn't come out. Could be the cutter, could be, practice with it. So I'll test it out again. I also don't love the font. Like it's, this is a very timeless and this is more modern, and I don't know. With sympathy, I'm super picky about my fonts and how it looks, and yeah. Anyway, so I got that. This one I'm sure I'll like. I have others of them. I picked up Oh, that was next door. This is all at Whimsy's. I picked up this die. Look at this. It's stars background. I don't think I have one like this. The closest thing I think I have is these two. But what I was thinking was this one gets a little big. This would be nice. Oh, I didn't check to make sure it's A2. I hope it's not too big. It seems kind of long and it's in centimeters. How does that help me? Okay, we're good. Houston? Yeah, I shouldn't have bought this, you guys. I'm going to think about this before I even open the package because it's not going to work on the front of an A2 size card. So it's not how I envisioned it at all. In fact, I might look up and see what was the plan. What I was thinking was layers of cardstock on the card front, and then you take like a happy anniversary and put it across it, maybe another star or something. So it would be a gorgeous background layer on the front of your card. Maybe in the UK, you make your standard card sizes different because your paper is a different size. So maybe that's how I got messed up. Darn it. Glad we measured that before I opened it. I know, I desperately needed another butterfly stamp. But look at these. Tiny, tiny scale of text and music, and then I liked this little stamp. Probably have another one in my collection. I was envisioning sitting around talking with Mr. Crafting and Relaxing and stamping these on some of my scraps and what you might call giblets, and this would be part of my scrap project cleanup. Now, one thing that I noticed yesterday when I tried to do a card on the fly is I use VersaFine black ink for everything. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's beautiful. I was supposed to buy this. I can't remember why. I think for coloring or something. Noni keeps me straight. I love this one. I think I gave away my Memento dye ink because I never used it. This sucker takes forever to dry. Forever. So when I'm sitting around playing with my scraps, I need to be sure to just use my archivals or dig around and see if I have any kind of just basic dye ink. Remember that your different kind of inks have different dry time, and a pigment ink or an amalgam kind of combo ink, oh, you're waiting on dry time. Dye inks are your friend. They'll dry faster. They're also great for playing with little kids because they dry faster, they wash off easy. You don't want to use your archivals with little kids. I'm going to try that, and I think the archivals dry a lot. I also could use like my Stampin' Up! Inks, blue, that kind of thing. Anything that's dye-based. What's your favorite black dye-based ink, people? Let me know. And then I'll write on it. Don't give it away because it dries fast. Okay, I also played with, so you can't see, Concord and Ninth. Hello, double layer, love it, been playing with it. Hi, stitched, love it, been playing with it. Haven't played with these yet, that's why they're not out. This is gorgeous, so grateful. Love it for a journal page, love it for a card. Think it's going to be fiddly for me. I don't know, we'll have to see how much I like it, how much I use it. But I really just bought this for the hello and the hi and to try out the grateful. Mary sent me a bunch of hellos, and they were big like this. I don't know for sure it was the same one, but I just really loved how the cards turned out, and they were so simple and fun, and her font was like that, and it is a 2-layer one. I didn't wait for you. Okay, I picked up another one of this. Catherine Pooler. Her paper's really thick. It's made in the US. It's blue. This is Something Borrowed is the color name, the prints for it, and I have the inks, Something Borrowed and Suede Shoes. I want suede shoes paper too. I don't think she's made that yet. I'll have to look around. But anyway, love those. Okay, I don't know, kind of a mess, right? I think that was it for Whimsy's. Now, Whimsy's has the most patterned paper and supplies and dyes and stamps. I mean, the selection is ridiculous. Our friend Janie went there one day and she was like overwhelmed. She said, I have to go back one day without my husband and a girls trip. Yeah, it can be easily a 2-hour project, and space is tight. So you want to like get rid of your big purse and wear comfy shoes, be prepared to like squat down, move around. There's a ton. Okay, then we hit Paper Parachute next door, and this was on my list. I wanted to try the Oohoo glue stick. If you're a mixed media person, you probably have one already. I've been using this one. I picked it up at the Dollar Tree. It was made in South Korea. This one I think is made somewhere Europe because I've heard people talk about it before. made in Germany. So, okay, we're not made in China, right? I have heard people talk about the glue stick a lot. What I didn't realize is the reason that people go with this one is because some of these, I'm not saying the Avery, but some of the really cheap glue sticks, especially maybe the kids' ones, they just don't stick. And I have heard that at work from teachers who aren't happy with the glue sticks that we buy. So I wanted to try this one, especially since I'm going to do some major volume with scraps. It's nice to have a good glue stick because I don't like to get a bunch of wet glue and then sew through things because lots of times I stitch on them. So just trying it out. I don't even know about this, but I saw it and I was like, oh, you're coming home with me. And keep in mind, I had started the Naturally Vintage journal, so this stuff was on my mind. That's what happens, right? When you go shopping or when you look around or when you're watching things, if you're working on a project, you think, oh, I need that. This paper is so thick, it would make lovely journaling cards if the back is blank. It would make great tuck spots. It could be folded or glued or taped in as a page in a journal. It's very thick. I mean, you could just create this into a journal, but this would make lovely, absolutely lovely tags or journaling cards in a book. So it seems like, are there 4 of each? I don't know. It said on the thing. And then it said there was 1 page of cut aparts. Oh my gosh. Of course, right? If they would have put that in the front, I wouldn't have even had to think about it for a minute. I did think about it for a minute. And then I was like, yeah, I'll take you home with me. So this is 49th and Market. And 49th and Market is a newer brand for me, not something I've bought a lot of, and not available absolutely everywhere. So I can't tell you a lot. Oh, made in the US. There we go. I'm going to tell you that's why I bought it. No, I didn't even look. I was off my game. It feels wonderful, super thick. One thing that's pretty cool about Paper Parachute and Whimsy's being next door to each other is they have slightly different interests and purchases. And Paper Parachute carries a lot of paper products that I don't see other places. There were a bunch of 6x6s in there that I was intrigued by, but I wasn't really in a paper buying mode. Then this is botanical laser cut elements. It's stuff that goes with this paper. This is actually what caught my eye first, but I thought, oh, I don't want to deal with fussy cutting all that. Oh, look, I didn't even realize it's all prepped for you. They're literally laser cut. See, I'm just not familiar with the brand. So it's more of a punch it out while you watch TV, cut off the little tabbies. This is actually shiny. Oh, it's the back of the page. They printed some stuff on it for you, so you're not wasting anything. Very, very cool. This is interesting. This is made in China. Same brand, same collection. Made in US, made in China. Interesting. See, good thing I bought the paper. I like these. They are different than I thought. I loved the stamps and stuff. I knew I had ephemera like this at home and didn't need it, but, you know, I bought it anyway. I'm not saying retail therapy works, but I was willing to give it a try. Okay, I wanted a stencil like my friend Andrea would buy. She buys really ornate, detailed ones. She might be like, hey, dummy, we have this one. I don't know. And so I looked around, and what I was envisioning for this was just like the really small scale stamp set that I bought. Bits of it on scraps and collage stuff. So I wanted a stencil that had tiny things going on, right? Like when you have that, it's interesting, not just giant swoops. I told Noni, I want a stencil that swoops. And she showed me a couple. I said, no, the swoops are too big. So I knew what I had in mind. Whether I use them, I don't know. I think we're going to have a little bit of company tonight. So I might set up a kit on the deck with a dome brush, a stencil, and just stencil on random scraps. And then when you put them together later, they're just more interesting. That's how I got my big mess of stamping with and getting wet ink all over. Was I had a solid color blue, and I thought, oh, this would be really fun with this on it for my card. And then I didn't wait. Oh, I did a honeybee order all by myself. Had to enter it and everything. Noni said she would have done it for me, but I didn't wait. Honeybee Stamps is super backlogged right now. I don't know, maybe they're coming out the other side because of the new release. But at some point, my guess is before a lot happened in my household, I ordered this, and I think it took about a week to ship. My sidekick, my little die cutter sidekick, is tired, and I have to shim it. And I was thinking, should I get another one? I've never had a different kind. Maybe I want to try something. So this is the Honeybee Stamps die cutter. They don't call it a die cutter. They probably call it something else. And I got an extra set of cutting plates because Noni always says we should get extras. And so far, I'm loving it. I've only used it one day, and I will tell you about it more later. You know me, don't run out and buy it just because I have it. It is much more sturdy than the Sidekick. It is also heavier, has a cool handle. So far, so good. The plates are bigger. I haven't bothered to look through my dies to see, okay, which ones can I die cut in bed now because these plates are bigger. Also, the tray that I usually use to die cut on with my Sidekick, because this thing is so long and wide, it doesn't quite work. So I'm going to have to rethink it because it sort of hits the edges and I have to shuffle back and forth to make it work. So, you know, I have to rethink my portable die cutting station. But so far, I'm enjoying it and I haven't had troubles with it. Now, I think I ran this through here and it came out that way, you know, where it didn't actually cut and didn't work the way I envisioned it. I'm going to try it again in here with different paper because I was using scraps, so who knows what the weight was. And I'm going to try it in my Big Shot and see what I think of that. So we'll see. Okay, those are all the things I have going on. I'm going to put in a clip of my back deck, so be sure you're watching the screen and you'll see that. And I was sitting on the deck drinking coffee, and honestly, I wasn't going to make an updates video. And then I had new dies to show, and Kathy was like, are you going to make a video to show? I was like, well, I was kind of thinking of you guys too. Oh, I picked this up in my Honeybee order. This is one of the Gina K Comfort acrylic blocks, and it has a grid. I don't know where these are made, but I got a feeling, you guys, because I couldn't find it online anywhere. Kind of has some scuzz on it. Need to wash it. I thought I would try these. I also do like, I think it was Heather that commented that she had the same Recollection set that I picked up. I like those too. These have the comfort grooves, so maybe if you have hand troubles, you need the super thick ones. But these are really nice too. And in general, I just didn't have enough stamping blocks. I have 2 stamp platforms, and honestly, 2 of the Tim Holtz ones. And honestly, I just don't use them that much. And given the choice, I'd rather just grab a stamp block and pick it up and go. And it's probably because I'm so messy that, I mean, look, where am I going to put the stamp platform? But I could work right here and stamp out an image if we needed one. That might be it for me. That might be the reason. If you just wanted the crafty information and you don't want any sad stuff, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. For the rest of you, thank you so much for the cards and the emails and the support. I really appreciate it. I think we're doing as best as can be expected here, and Miss Sadie's trying to take good care of us. And one of the cards I got this week said, "It's okay not to be okay." On the front of it, that was the sentiment, and I thought, okay, then I'm right on track. I'm right on track. And I got this lovely card because Mary made a donation to Oregon Humane Society in honor of Wilson and Parker, and I thought that was super sweet. I worked for an entity that just recently merged with Oregon Humane, and that is a dear to my heart organization. So I thought that was lovely. If I haven't written back to your emails or messages, I am just slow moving. You know how you just get distracted, and I don't know that I'll finish any of these projects I started this week, but I think the fact that I did something is probably good for me. So we are getting by. It is quiet here. When I drop a chip or food, I now have to pick it up. That was a little shocking. And I was getting socks out. Noni and I were going shopping, and I was opening my sock drawer really slowly so the handle didn't rattle. And then I realized no one cared if I got socks out. It wasn't going to cause a ruckus. So things like that we're working through. And Mr. Crafting and Relaxing likes to buy the bag of bacon from Costco that's like, chopped up, and you can put it on your salads and you can sprinkle it on your eggs. And he got that bag out and opened it up and no one came running. So we're just working through that. When I get up in the morning, there's no meh, 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 encouraging me to get up and do breakfast and pushing. And I can roll around in the night and there's no meh, meh, meh. So it's strange here. It is really strange, but I think considering the circumstances, we're doing pretty well. So I hope you're all taking great care of yourselves and counting your blessings absolutely every single day, because things change on a dime, don't they? I will be crafting today and relaxing in my backyard, so I think that's all we can ask for. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.